Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to the vlog. A quick update on the channel. As always, Car Connections, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And just want to update on the Camaro. You know, as you guys know, I got that car about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and there's a lot of work that has been happening to this car, guys. I haven't vlogged a lot of it, and the reason behind it, guys, to be honest with you, there's just a lot of videos around the things I did do to the car. And I don't know if it really adds any value to any of you guys that are actually subscribed to the channel. So I didn't vlog a lot about it. I'm gonna show, I'm gonna do a little walk around the car and kind of show you, you're not gonna be able to see much because everything that I did is not visible to the eye. It's a lot of, so I did a lot of the suspension work on it. I replaced, basically when I bought the car, the car wasn't braking, guys. It would brake, but it didn't brake that well. For a while there, I was kind of going back and forth with a buddy of mine. It was around, do I want to put, you know, front disc brakes on the Camaro? Because the car comes with drums, and if you're not familiar with drums, they're not the best braking. You got to be careful when driving and when it's wet. It's just not the best braking, but that's the way these cars came out back in '69. And not only the Camaro, but a lot of the cars in the competition had drum brakes, both front and rear, which is non-heard of nowadays. Though I know of some new cars, I think, that still come out with drum brakes in the rear. And it changes a whole car, especially from a braking perspective. And the technology nowadays is very different than it was back in '69. To be fair, though, GM did make a vehicle, I think, at the time, and you guys can quote me on here because I know some of you guys know old cars very well. But I think the Chevrolet Corvette, I think at the time, did come with disc brakes in the front and rear. So I think they were just not cascading that type of brakes or those type of brakes down to the Camaro. Though to be fair, I think the Z28 and the Super Sport came with disc brakes in the front. So I don't have a Super Sport or a Z28. Mine's just a base Camaro, and it came with drum brakes all the way around. It's a little chilly here in Texas too, guys. It's probably around 42 degrees. I know some of you guys that live in the Northeast might make fun of that, and I get it. But us, it gets pretty chilly, and we're just not wired to handle any type of coldness in Texas. So let me show you guys, do a quick walk around on the '69 Camaro, and see if there's any other updates I can give you guys. Oh, it's cold even in the garage. So here it is. I actually gave her a really nice wash. It needs, you know, it's not perfect paint, and I'm okay with it. I think I could give the clear coat, whatever's left of it, a nice buffing, and it'll make the paint even pop even more. But in a nutshell, guys, literally I replaced all the drums all the way around, bought new drums, brought new shoes, is what they call them, or brakes, all four corners, and also all the springs or the guts that go inside of them. Replaced all that. And then also each one of these comes with a little cylinder. The front ones were completely busted, and one in the rear was shot where it just wasn't working. So I'm glad that I went in there and did a brake job on all of them. And so I replaced, again, drums, the shoes or brakes, all the guts and springs, and also the cylinder, little piece that allows your brake fluid to come into the car when you press the brakes. And that's what gets into the brake area to allow your car to brake. And so I replaced those because, again, some of them were leaking. Now the car, again, it doesn't have disc brakes in the front, so it's not like the best braking ever, guys. Just trust me on this. But does it brake better than before? Absolutely. It absolutely brakes way better than before. Did to the car, which I should have done, is one time the car, I just let it sit here and didn't turn her on, and so she died on me. And so what I ended up doing, and again, this is probably a veteran move, but a rookie move on my behalf, is I end up buying one of these little battery tender. And so what that does, guys, it keeps the battery charged. So whenever you turn on the car, it'll turn on if the battery's in good shape, right? So what happens with these old cars is, and not only old cars, a lot of cars, but newer cars can last a lot longer than older cars. If you do not do that and buy something like that, and if you don't daily drive this car, which is not a daily driver, it's not going to turn on, guys. It's going to die on you. Keeps this battery at a specific charge so that anytime I come and want to turn on this car, it's going to work. The other thing it does, it also balances the amount of charge that's going into the battery. That's important, which means it doesn't overcharge the battery. So it got some kind of technology or regulator inside of that tender that keeps this battery optimized for usage. So bought that, did the brakes, did all the drums, and then the other thing I did is I replaced the front shocks and also the rear shocks. And I did that because the car seemed a little too floaty to me, especially when I would do like a quick turn to the right or the left. You would feel the car kind of go up and down a little bit, kind of weird. And by changing the front suspension, and when I say suspension, it's really just the springs, both in the front and the rear, the car feels a lot more planted. Is it still a little bloaty? Yes, it's not. These are 1969 cars, guys. So they're not perfect, but it feels 10 times better with the new springs than it did before. And so I fixed that. So again, right now, new brakes, and did the suspension. And then after I did all the suspension and messed with all that stuff, took it to my local shop to go ahead and do an alignment on the car. That's done. This is not my car. This is my brother's car, actually. It's a Mini Cooper S. Little pep in the step, by the way. This car has a little pep on its step. It's so lightweight that, I mean, it goes. It's not fast. It's not a Tesla. It sure as hell is not the Hellcat, but for its size and weight, guys, and it's fuel efficient as shit. So I've been doing some work on this one, taking it to the local shop here to do some repairs on it since my brother is out of town. But one car that has been crossing my mind, believe it or not, since I've been driving this car, and one of my buddies actually got one. Check out his channel. He has a small channel, but the guy knows a lot about cars he's working on. You should check out his channel. It's called Shots Automotive. And he's actually a guy that I reach out a lot to when I was working on my Camaro, because the guy's an expert when it comes to cars, and so he gave me a lot of pointers. And so again, check out his channel, Shots Automotive. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. But the reason I'm saying this also is because he actually bought a Mini, and don't get caught up with that, because he owns a Camaro ZL1 1LE, guys, and it's super stoked out. I mean, this guy has taken the car to SEMA. So just so you know the type of cars he works with. But he bought this as his daily commuter, but it's the it's the electric, and it gives him about 115-mile range. And I'm just thinking, this car is fun. How would it be if it was electric, where you get instant torque? And so what's crazy with these cars, you can actually get one for $29,000. I know some of you guys might be like, that's too expensive, but for a brand new car, for an electric car, and you're going to get $7,500 back from the government in a tax credit, you end up paying, maybe $20,000, $21,000 for a car that goes about 120, 130 miles on range only. And so if you need a good commuter car that's electric, that's fairly cheap compared to new cars nowadays, maybe you should check out a Mini electric. But good luck finding them. Extremely, extremely difficult to find, guys. Almost anywhere you call, they're already taken, they're already sold. So if you're thinking about getting one, you probably want to order it. And it's been on the back of my brain. It's been bothering me a little bit, but I'm just enjoying my Tesla too much. And then I guess the last thing I just want to share, nothing with the Rango. Everything's good. Took her to go get an oil change about maybe 2 weeks ago, tire rotations, all the basic stuff. But the last thing, I guess, update for the channel is the power walls and everything is functioning. I finally got approval from CenterPoint to turn these things on. And I've actually been on, if you want to call it, free energy since they've turned it on for almost 4 or 5 days. The other thing that's crazy is I get free charging, because the power that comes from solar comes into this, which then charges my Tesla. And that thing kicks in at around, I think it's pushing like 45 or 48 miles a gallon. So it's pretty neat to drive a car that doesn't use any type of gas, that's electric only, that's fun. And when I do need to put electricity on the car, I have two options. I have the one here at the house that's coming free from solar, right? Or I know not a lot of people have this option, but at work, we have chargers, which is awesome. So, you know, most of the time, guys, I don't even need to use this because the charger's at work. You know, I go to work, I leave it parked there, and it's fully charged every day. I bring her home, and then when I go back to work, I don't even charge her here. I just charge her at work. It's a little slower than this one. The one at work's around 23 miles to 24 miles an hour. And so again, I never need to fully charge a car. The car always has at least 150 to 200 miles on it. And so it's always being full. It's always full. I only fill her up to 90%. Great. Car's been fine. No issues. All the updates have been, you know, through software. And so I had no cars with the issues. Just a quick update. It's the new year, guys. And it's been a while. It's been, I mean, maybe 2-3 weeks since I posted something. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the channel, the things that are going on, the things I've done to the Camaro. And that's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate the support. Again, subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Turn on your notification button. And again, guys, if you can help my buddy out, again, Shots Automotive, check out the channel and subscribe. I think you'll find other interesting vlogs from him when it comes to cars. He's just getting started. Any help would be appreciated. Again, thanks. Peace out.